We will be on page word 54, which is changing line and paragraph spacing. And increasing the amount of space between lines adds more white space to a document and can make it easier to read. Adding space before and after paragraphs also open up a document and improves its appearance. You use the line spacing arrow in the paragraph group on the Home tab to quickly change line spacing. To change paragraph spacing, use the spacing options in the paragraph group on the Page Layout tab. Line and paragraph spacing are measured in points. And like I said, we're going to be on page word 54, and if we take a look at step 1. Step 1 tells us to make sure that we press our Control Home, and that gets us all the way back up to the top of the document. Now it tells us that we're going to click on the Show Hide button. That gets our formatting marks back up. And then it tells us that we're going to place the insertion point in our italicized paragraph under the title. So just anywhere in this paragraph will be fine. Once we do that, it tells us we're going to click the line spacing list arrow in the paragraph group on the Home tab. And the line spacing list arrow is the one that has the 2 arrows up and down and the multiple lines right here. When we click on this, we have the different types of line spacing that's available to us automatically, and we can make some other changes if we go into the options. In this case, we're going to choose the 1.15, that is step 2. Step 2 tells us to click on 1.15. And the space between the lines in the paragraph increases to 1 15/100ths of a line. And notice that you do not need to select the entire paragraph to change its paragraph formatting. You just simply place the insertion point in the paragraph that you want to format. Step 3 tells us that we're going to select the 5-line list that begins with trips, date, and cost. So that's this list right here. So we're going to select this right here in these 5 lines of text. And then it tells us that we're going to go back up to the line spacing button, and we're going to click on 1.5. So that makes it 1.5 lines on there. Of course, Word recognizes any string of text that ends with a paragraph mark as a paragraph, which does include titles, headings, and single lines in a list such as this. Step 4 tells us we're going to scroll down and place the insertion point in the heading Rosh Hashanah Desert Safari. So we're just scrolling down a little bit and placing our insertion point in here. And then it tells us we're going to click on the Page Layout tab. Now notice that switches up the ribbon a little bit, and when we do that, we're going to proceed on now to step 5, in which step 5 tells us we're going to click the up or after up arrow in the spacing section of the paragraph group so that 6 points appear. So right here in the paragraph group, here's the spacing, and we want to make sure that we click the after up button, which is this one right here. We're going to click that until it says 6 points. And that way 6 points of space is added after the Rosh Hashanah Desert Safari heading paragraph. Step 6 tells us we're going to scroll down and place our insertion point in the Everest Base Camp Trek. And then we are going to hit our F4 key. Now, whenever you hit the F4 key, what that is going to do is that's going to repeat the last action that you took, which in this case, it's adding 6 points of space after the paragraph. And so now, 6 points of space is added below the Everest Base Camp Trek heading. And using F4 is not the same as using the Format Painter. Pressing F4 repeats only the last action that you took. You can use the Format Painter at any time to copy the multiple settings on there, but the F4 just does one setting. Step 7 tells us we're going to scroll down a little bit more until we see Cycling in Provenance. So we're going to select the Cycling in Provenance here. Then it tells us to press and hold our Control key, and now we're going to select the Inca Highlands Explorer. Then once you have those two selected, release your Control key and press your F4 key. Because when you press Control as you select items, you can select and format multiple items at once, and they don't have to be connecting on there. And now 6 points of space are added after each of those headings as well. Step 8 tells us that we want to press Control and Home. That gets us back up to the top of the document. And it tells us also to place the insertion point in the last minute travel deals. So just anywhere in the last minute travel deals, place your insertion point. And on this one, we're going to click the before up arrow in the spacing section of the paragraph group twice so that 12 point appears. So we're going to have to go here to the page layout, and we need to make sure that we click on the before, and we click it twice, and that should make it 12 points. Now, it doesn't always have to be in multiples of 6. It could be, you can type in whatever number you would like to have there. Once we have that, make sure you go ahead and click on your Home tab here to get back to the main tab. Click on your paragraph, your formatting marks, the little paragraph symbol there. That's going to remove the formatting marks, and then save your document. Now, we mentioned on there that there's lots of different styles and formats that you can have on here. But ultimately, if you're wanting to use a style, that is just a set of these formats like we've been working on, such as font size, and paragraph alignments. And you can use these quick styles up here to actually set that in place on there. And you can take a look on page Word 55 and read a little bit more about quick styles that's on there and how you can view the active set of quick styles on there. Like I said, you can just click on this button right here and you can see all the different quick styles. You can also clear your formatting. You can save what you have now, your selection, as a new quick style, or you can apply whatever style that you have on there. Of course, notice that it does have the live preview as well. And that concludes this video for page Word 54 and 55, which is changing line and paragraph spacing, and you may now move on to the next video.